here we have a clavicle. Okay, this would be like me looking at someone's face. This would go on the left side of their body. Well, how do we know that? A few pieces of information. We have the sternal extremity or end, which looks like I chopped it. We have the acromial end, which is pretty flat. It looks like I flattened it with a mallet. I just flattened it out. So we know medial, lateral. We have the smooth superior surface, and if you palpate your own collarbone, you know how smooth and accessible that is. So that should immediately tell you that not much attaches there. It's going to be smooth. And you know that the bone is going to develop grooves and tuberosities and tubercles and all of those different surfaces and bumps and things in response to stress, in response to tension. So if we have something that's really, really smooth, it's not very likely that something's attaching there. So think the smooth superior surface, all of the business for the clavicle is on the bottom. So we now know, which now I've got it sitting like it would be sitting on your body. So not on your right side, but on your left. This is the front, the anterior, this is the posterior. You're looking at the superior smooth surface, medial, the sternal extremity, lateral, the acromial extremity. You want me to draw, baby? Here, I'll draw you a smiley face. Why don't you draw? Can you draw Mommy Bear something? Draw Mommy Bear something. Okay, now let's look at the underside of it. There's a few things we need to look at here. There's 4 landmarks in particular. First, on the sternal extremity, if you look just inside, there's a tuberosity there. That's your costal tuberosity. I want you to envision your clavicle on your body and see how the ribs, they are stacked right under the clavicle. So in your body, if this was sitting, you'd have ribs, 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 ribs. Your rib cage is right there. You have a ligament, actually let's get it back this way. You have a ligament that attaches from rib 1 to this part of the clavicle. That's the costoclavicular ligament, attaching rib to clavicle. Now, if we run our finger laterally along the bottom of the clavicle, you would feel a groove there. That's the subclavian groove or sulcus. You have the subclavius muscle that attaches there as well, and that brings us to a posterior cone-shaped tubercle. You can see a little cone, a little peak. That's the conoid tubercle, which is the attachment site for one of the corticoclavicular ligaments, named the conoid ligament. Then if you look even more lateral towards that acromial extremity, you can see this bumpy surface. That's called the trapezoid line. To me, on every model that I see it, where you can actually identify it, it looks more like a tuberosity, and that's an attachment for the other corticoclavicular ligament, the trapezoid ligament. Now, again, this is how it would sit on your body. So you're looking at the posterior surface. Now you're looking at the superior surface. So this would be a left clavicle. A left clavicle. Alright guys, I'm hoping that you can see this. So a left clavicle. This is how it would sit on my body. Okay? The sternal side here. Alright? Hope that was helpful.